This is Calabash Community, and in studio with us is Christian writer John Robert Lee. And now the conversation shifts to the religious influences impacting his writings.
I grew up, my father was Anglican, my mother was Catholic. I went to Anglican schools. Now in those years, Bernard, if you know some interesting sociological history, Catholic Church is very strong. And for my mother Catholic to marry my father, they had to bring up their children Catholics. So I used to go to Catholic Church, but not like the average Catholics. I never made my first communion until I went to St. Mary's College in my first form, Bishop Gashi, special ceremony. So it wasn't like all young Catholics, I'm making my first communion. My mother was a Catholic. Sometimes she'd go very often. Most times she was, up and down with that, My father was Anglican, he hardly ever went to church, but they were religious people, godly people. Encouraged me to pray. My father gave me my first Bible, which I still have when I was 12 years of age, Great Study Bible, encouraged me to read the Bible. So they were religious people with a sense of God and of the Christian faith without being proto-legalese. As a child, I used to go to the first Faith Baptist Church up in La Clery, almost opposite where the Catholic Church is now in La Clery, to Vacation Bible School. So Anglican school and Anglican church, Catholic with my mother, Mass and so on. In fact, there was a time when I was in secondary school, I was very involved with Catholicism. That's when I met Paba. Legion of Mary, I was very strong, say my rosary. I used to teach catechism at La Clery Church. I was very involved. But I distinctly remember, I'm confessing this publicly, there's a time, even in school, sixth form college, I definitely became disillusioned or fed up. And I remember saying to myself, I'll keep going to church, but as soon as I leave school, St. Mary's College, that's it. And as soon as I had left SMC in 67, finished with school, went to work, I stopped going to church.
Really?
Felt that bad for a while, but then for my 20s, my religion was arts and literature. Derek Walcott, Kamau Brathwaite, Roddy Walcott with theatre. This is my religion, that's what I loved. I lived for literature. When I began to write seriously, people like Pat Charles and Pat Isman were great influences as my teachers who encouraged me. I began to write here, but when I got to Cave Hill, where I went to university, I really began to write seriously. But theatre and literature were my religion. Then I came back to St. Lucia about mid-70s, and then I guess the religious impulse was always there. As you get older, you begin to feel a need for something more. So I used to do meditation, and then I walked with Rastafari. One day, I just didn't want to comb my hair, and locks came, not because I was into the philosophy, but I liked Rastafari of the day. People were serious. They used to pray all over the place. You see Rasta guys praying all over the place, kneeling up like where the cultural center is now, praying, very serious, reading the Bible, their view of the society, of culture, of race and so on. There was a lot there I could say yes to. So I worked with Rastafari for a couple of years, involved like Earl Bruce K. Sito Poyat, who just got honored. We all had locks. We took part with the Ayanola Rastafari Association, helped with the Ayanola paper and so on. For me, the break came when, at some point in 78, I became more of the Christian faith. I began to pay more attention again to Bible and so on. Someone had a decision to make. I like Rasta culturally, socially. I could say yes, even today, to a lot of what Rasta is saying. Bob Marley, of course, was the big prophet for all of us, and the roots reggae musicians. But someone had to make up my mind. Could I? Oh, by the time I got married, I had children. I had 2 daughters. And the question I put to myself was, can I lead my children in praying to Hail Selassie Rastafari? And I faced that question straight, and I said, no, I couldn't. All that Selassie did, great. Rastafari, the influence, great. But I do not believe Rastafari, Hail Selassie, all respect to the man, all he did. Was a return to Christ? Was Christ incarnate? As serious Rasta believed and still believe, Now being a Rasta was a serious thing, not just for us with dreads on the head. So no. By then, I was being drawn, and I believe from a certain Christian point of view. But it is God. I believe it's God who saves. The Spirit of God draws us back to the Christian faith in a sense. But now I came back into not Catholicism or Anglicanism. But first I got involved with a place called the Church of Christ for about 7 years. Then I ended up where I used to go as a child to Vacation Bible schools, to the Baptist Church, where now today I'm with the Calvary Baptist Church as an elder of the church. I preach and teach and so on. So I came, in a sense, back to Christian faith, but on my own terms, as an adult with all my experiences, respecting Catholicism, or I'd learned from it. A lot of my poetry reflects Catholicism. My friendship with Paba and Catholics, Anglican Church, certainly. In fact, my Christianity embraces the whole history of Christianity, all the denominations. and I take what's best from me, but I understand the scriptures, which are central for me. I'm a Protestant, so for me the scriptures are central. Do I recognize and admit all the atrocities, all the negatives, all the evil that has been done in the name of Christianity even today? Look at how many evangelical Christians in the States are supporting Donald Trump. The name of Christianity, here in St. Lucia. But you see, that is, if you want, what men have corrupted Christianity. For me, my Christianity is based on the Holy Scriptures, the Bible, which is authentic, which is God's inspired word. Yes, men wrote it, it is inspired, and I find there truth for me. I can speak personally. Therefore, I use the Bible to examine denominationalism. There's a lot I see in even evangelical Christianity I don't agree with. You know, I think they go overboard. This is money. People are dancing on altars. I can throw $150, nothing less. Seducing of people. No, I'm against all that. My Christianity is the biblical Christianity. Try to find the Christ of the Bible, which I believe is an inspired word. So you can say I'm orthodox, conservative in a way. I believe moderate. I'm not far-right conservative, neither am I far-left liberal. But the Bible for 30-some years of my life now, from 1978, has been the center of all I do, including in my art, my poetry, my life. That's what guides me. I try not to force my religion on anybody, but I live it for myself, understanding the ills that have been done in the name of Christianity for sure, absolutely. So I can still say a lot yes to a lot of what Rastafari are saying.
And now to the book launch of City Remembrances. It took place at the Folk Research Center and involved dramatized readings by some of St. Lucia's best known actors.
Never the same point. That's gone. That's past. We return. Never the same point. That's gone. That's past.
You were all reading at your launch.
Folk Research Center.
Richard, Ambrose, Natalie, and Jimo.
Yeah, Jimo, and directed by Kendall Hewlett.
I would Sabbath Wednesday proclaim procession through old parts of town.
Place shrines of palm booths under verandas, ancient fretwork.
And the players of instruments at random corners.
Mid-morning.
Mid-morning.
A gentle air abroad. Benevolence at shop fronts and half-open jalousies.
Angels ascending from Marian to Brogley to Coral Street.
Yes, Wednesday for Sabbath, resting center of the week.
I always like walking through Castries midweek. And this Sabbathing Wednesday is a real experience. I always find that if I walk through, especially what I call Old Castries, Chisel Street, Brogley, Coral, almost between Chaussee and maybe the square. I like that center, that area. The old houses are there, people are there. In the middle of the week, the vendors are out. It's a quieter time. And in a sense, by my walking through this is when I get those images or pictures. And I write poems out of the experience of almost the old Castries. People still by the jalousie windows and so forth. There's a nice spirit for me there. And I think that captures to me the spirit. Perhaps it's an older Castries, not the Castries of today, but I still mention the Castries of today. Watch out for people hustling you for stray bullets and so on, you know. So I'm not having a blind eye to the reality of Castries today. Grass Street, Chaussee Road, the graveyard, in which I spent a lot of time in my 20s with good friends in the graveyard and so on. But I'm not unaware of the reality. It's while I treasure and remember the old Castries of my own youth, I'm not unaware or blind to the realities of the city today. Worn down, getting weary, getting tired, which I also say in the poetry, you know.
And I suppose when you walk, I know you do some photography, so you take pictures as well?
Indeed, I do.
What is brought you to photography? Yes.
I think I've been doing photography since I was a young boy in secondary school. I've never really stopped. I do call myself I'm an amateur.
Right.
I use a small point and shoot. But I love photographing the old buildings, you know.
What about the buildings?
I think the old fretworks, again, the old style buildings. The old buildings have a character to them. The old fretwork, the old jalousie windows, especially like those that remind me of the old Castries. Perhaps it's something coming from my childhood. You know, your first memory is even very subconscious. First time your father cries you in his arms, walking through, or your hands a little boy through some little lane, some little alleyway, and you see those buildings for the first time, deep in your memory they're there. And there's a resonance and something which is close to you, deep down you. You've grown up, you've traveled, you've seen the world, the places change, but your first memories are happy memories. Your father, your mother holding you in their arms, walking through the town, going to shop at the CDC shops, you know, with my mother at night going down for groceries, you know, in the little groceries. And those things are close to us as childhood memories which are happy.
But along the first sidewalks we skipped, near those same zinc gates to alleys, yards, and wooden steps,
We recollect window ledges from which such courtesies and wisdom flowed. To these, our pilgrim feet should wander with music up the road.
So as you grow up, deep in your subconscious, these things are there. And I think you see something and they set off trigger memories, you know. Yeah, you have a love-hate relationship with our country and our thing. Because while I like that, I see things good. But while you're walking through maybe Broadway Street, here comes somebody cursing. Somebody cursing a young woman. Somebody abusing. Or one man chasing another with a gun or a knife. Or driving around this beautiful country. You admiring the beautiful landscape. But you better keep your eyes on the road because here comes a crazy driver on a motorbike or a car. If you don't keep to your side and stop enjoying the scenery, keep your eyes on the road, he's going to hit you and kill you. So we're not unaware of the realities of living in the real world, even while we admire the beauty of our country. And we enjoy still the old-fashioned spirit of our city. People still say good morning. You walk into a room like the Prime Minister yesterday at the ceremony. He walks into the room. He says, good afternoon to everybody. I told myself, house inclusion, you know. Yeah. So those things are there. And I enjoy those things because I think, even in terms of, say, what Focus Center has said for years, it's a modern world. Thank God for technology. Do we have it? But there are things from the past we should never forget. Our courtesies, our kindness, our manners.
We meet on the bus stand, our affair hidden in shouldering crowds. Another Wednesday, memories scouting through old castries, retrieving lost facades, missing bars, gone tailor shops.
Among sidewalk bazaars, Syrian emporia, pastel food huts,
and aloof demoiselle.
Full disclosure, no affair. Just some aging poet's fantasy of a shapely muse from Mark or Millet, gentle spirit dissing corny flirtations with watchful eyes and dimpled chin.
As we talk about this book and as you release this book, there's a sad reality that there are no bookstores where you can get it.
Right.
How can we get copies of City Remembrances?
Well, May Wayne has just opened a new bookshop, The Yard, up at the Star newspaper compound. So there's a new bookshop now. You can buy books at the Focus Center these days, including my books there, other solution writers. Ever since Sunshine unfortunately closed down, and all our books, we writers are still stuck in the warehouse of Sunshine. Wow. We can't get our books out, that's another story. But I encourage local writers to bring their works to the Focus Center, where we sell for them. So Focus Center, myself, Seaman Road, I always have like a good amigo. I have books in the back of my car. I'll sell for you. I'll give a discount. Usually once the book is paid, you end up giving away. Right. You know? But anyway, so we can, the place we can buy my books and other local writers' works can be bought now.
We have become old strangers with the stranded shoemaker near Victoria and Chisel.
Alert for
bag snatchers and stray bullets,
pressing against all that life
in the anonymous teeming of this culture.
What do we love,
if we love,
and how dark that we love?
Well, Robert, I want to thank you for taking us down the memory lane in Castries, to get us to think about Castries again, and to talk also about
City
the revival of Castries. Yeah. So City Remembrances is the book that's out, and the poems there were written over a number of years?
Actually, yes, I would say so. What I find I write most, you know, a lot of my collections are collections of poetry written over a period of time. Earliest poem, Spiral, was written several years ago. We Love Whole City Affair. Now, actually, this collection has poems written probably within the last 2 years, which for me is not normal. Very often my collections are over many years.
Right.
The first 2 poems, Spiral and Will of Whole, are earlier poems. From City Affair, though, I wrote that, I think, either last year or year before, and all the others. And in fact, I have a long poem called Intimations, in which I have some selections. Those were written at the end of last year. Because to tell you, I've just submitted to my publisher in Britain, People Tree Press, who publishes St. Lucian writers, Kendall, Jane, Adrian, Latimer, myself, published by People Tree Press. Erlong, the foremost publisher of Caribbean literature today. Right. So I've just submitted my collected poems to them. So I wanted last year to finish off a nice long sequence of new poems to give them, which is center. I'm waiting to get word where they're going to go with it, hopefully this year. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I hope it happens this year. Yeah. Nice to have a collected poems. You know, you can read my corpus, as it were, of all my work. But most of the poems in this book, now I look at it, are new poems within the year and a half, 2 years, I would say. So they're pretty much new poems, yeah.
Soft candlelight coming down from Mount Pleasant to Montdor,
To Mon Fortune, sudden scattering of fine drizzle.
Remembrances of yards, rooms, first loves.
and evenings coming down to town.
And I see I have gone to fictions of memory, asking of love now, as a man searches the warm ashes of a long marriage to find again, if he can,
The first cold, glowing infatuation.
And under the Inquisition to seek out.
what do we love? If we love.
And I just want to mention Raphael Rinvel Phillip,
Yes.
who is my book designer and a very good artist of St. Lucia, who has worked with me on several books now. Some of his covers have, his photos have come, some of his paintings have been covers of my books. He designs the books for me, and he contributes paintings to this new book, has 2 of his paintings in there. So I work well with Raphael. His name is Raphael, his artist name is Rinvel Phillip.
Yes.
Good artist, good book designer. And I want to say, I do a lot of my books here in St. Lucia because the quality is good, the production is good,
Yes.
good standard, and we can do good book publishing here. You know, I'm a librarian also, don't forget that.
Yes, of course.
So I make sure my title page and other things are well set. So many books are published here, don't have a title page, don't have a date, no author's names.
Yes.
I'm willing through the library, through efforts to help young writers who want to put a book out, because we should hold to standards.
Yes.
A book, by definition, is a book, means something. You have covers, you have fly leaves, you have half title pages, you have the title page as a librarian, the most important page is the title page.
That's right.
We get all the information. That must be there. And therefore, many of our writers put books out. And you say, hold on, man, you know, we need to set standards in book publishing and book printing in St. Lucia, so that I help wherever I can with writers.
I imagine apocalypse, the last muted trumpet coming up under that strange harmony of voices,
Under that
sound system,
harmony of voices,
traffic,
sound systems, traffic.
and oh,
I
I fear,
I
I yearn,
I hope.
for these I do love, how doubt that I love, beyond my heart's flooding boulevard, for these I plead, I pray, O Christ, your enrapturing grace.
Miller, thank you for giving us the time to talk about City Remembrances and urge everybody to pick up a copy for Christian Center and at the Yard.
At the Yard, yes, you can get there. Or from me, if you see me on the road,
Definitely. It's
somewhere
at the back
check
of the
me,
car.
I'll sell you a copy in the back of my car.
All right, Robert, thanks so much for talking to us.
Very
All the
welcome.
best.
Bernard, thanks a lot for having me here today.
What do we love if we love and have doubt that we love?
This is Calabash Community. When we come back, we visit the community of Babonneau and its challenge, Fun Walk.